The light of a powerful family, a hidden truth, and the dark face of a white-clad world. Was this crime case of Alex Murdaugh just a victim, or a game of chess? After all, who was the culprit?
The South Carolina Lowcountry, a place of haunting beauty, steeped in tradition. Here, for generations, the name Murdaugh reigned supreme, a family dynasty. Their word was law. Alex Murdaugh, a man born into this power, commanded respect. A successful lawyer, he seemed to have it all. But beneath the veneer of wealth and influence, a darkness lurked. Alex Murdaugh, a man of ambition and secrets, was about to face a reckoning. His carefully constructed world was about to crumble, and it would begin with the chilling discovery on a humid summer night. June 7, 2021, a date that would forever be etched in the annals of tragedy. Darkness fell over the Murdaugh's sprawling hunting estate, known as Moselle. The estate, usually a place of peace and tranquility, was about to become the epicenter of a nightmare. A storm brewed in the distance, mirroring the turmoil that was about to unfold. The air was thick with an unsettling tension, as if nature itself sensed the impending doom. The deafening sound of gunshots shattered the stillness. 2 lives were extinguished in an instant, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. Maggie, Alex's wife, and Paul, their youngest son, were gone. Their lives, once vibrant and full of promise, were cruelly cut short. Alex Murdaugh, the picture of grief and despair, made the call. His voice, usually strong and commanding, was now frail and broken. His voice trembled as he recounted the horrific scene he had stumbled upon. The words seemed to choke him, each syllable a struggle. But even as he spoke, suspicion began to swirl. The story he told was filled with inconsistencies, raising more questions than answers. The details didn't quite add up. The scene felt staged. Investigators, seasoned and skeptical, began to piece together a different narrative. The truth, hidden in the shadows, was far more sinister. What seemed like a straightforward tragedy was unraveling into a web of deceit and darkness. Detectives scribbled notes, their minds racing to connect the dots. Each clue, each piece of evidence painted a picture more horrifying than the last. The media frenzy that followed only added to the chaos. Headlines screamed of betrayal, murder, and mystery, capturing the public's morbid fascination. In the midst of the turmoil, a community mourned. Candlelight vigils were held, tears were shed, and questions lingered in the air, unanswered. The courtroom would soon become the stage for a drama that no one could have anticipated. The search for justice had only just begun, and as the shadows lengthened, the true horror of that night remained, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk within. The idyllic life Alex Murdaugh portrayed was an illusion. Beneath the surface, a sinister web of lies began to unravel. As investigators dug deeper into the Murdaugh family's past, a trail of financial discrepancies emerged. Millions of dollars, siphoned away from clients and associates, vanished into thin air. The man who had presented himself as a pillar of the community was, in reality, a con man. His double life was about to be laid bare for the world to see. The murders of his wife and son were just the tip of the iceberg. A dark undercurrent of deceit threatened to consume everything in its path. The eyes of the nation turned to the small town of Walterboro, South Carolina. The trial of Alex Murdaugh captivated the public's imagination. Inside the courtroom, a battle of legal titans commenced. The prosecution, armed with a mountain of evidence, meticulously laid out their case. The defense, clinging to the remnants of the Murdaugh family's influence, fought tooth and nail. They painted a picture of a loving husband and father wrongfully accused. But the weight of the evidence was overwhelming. The truth, like a current, was pulling Alex Murdaugh under. Section 5, A Family Torn Asunder. The trial unearthed a family history riddled with tragedy and scandal. Alex Murdaugh, once a source of pride, became a symbol of shame. His surviving son, Buster, found himself torn between loyalty and the pursuit of justice. The courtroom became a crucible, testing the bonds of family and forcing them to confront the darkness that had festered for far too long. The legacy of the Murdaugh name, once synonymous with power, lay in tatters. Section 6, Whispers of Conspiracy. As the trial progressed, whispers of a wider conspiracy began to circulate. Were others involved in the murders of Maggie and Paul? Had Alex Murdaugh's influence shielded him from accountability for far too long? The rumor mill churned, fueled by speculation and suspicion. The truth, elusive and shrouded in mystery, seemed to lie just beyond reach. The community, once a place of trust and familiarity, was now riven by doubt. Section 7. The weight of evidence. The prosecution presented a compelling narrative, piecing together the fragments of Alex Murdaugh's deceit. Financial records exposed the depths of his crimes. Witness testimony chipped away at his carefully constructed facade. And then, there was the video. Recorded on Paul's phone just moments before his death, it captured Alex Murdaugh's voice at the crime scene. The evidence was irrefutable. The net was closing in. Alex Murdaugh, the master manipulator, had finally been exposed. Section 8. A verdict delivered, a community divided. After weeks of intense testimony and painstaking deliberation, the jury finally reached a verdict. The courtroom, filled with an air of anticipation, waited with bated breath. The tension was palpable, as everyone knew the gravity of the decision that was about to be announced. Guilty, on all counts. The words echoed through the courtroom, a definitive end to a trial that had captivated the nation. The gavel came down with a resounding thud, sealing the fate of Alex Murdaugh. Alex Murdaugh, the scion of a once-respected legal dynasty, was found guilty of the brutal murders of his wife and son. The evidence had been overwhelming, painting a chilling picture of betrayal and violence within a family that had long been seen as pillars of the community. Gasps filled the courtroom as the weight of the judgment sank in. Faces turned pale, and hands flew to mouths in shock. The reality of the verdict was almost too much to bear for many who had followed the case so closely. The community, deeply divided, struggled to make sense of the verdict. Outside the courthouse, heated debates broke out among townspeople. Some argued passionately, convinced that justice had been served, while others voiced their doubts and concerns, questioning the integrity of the investigation and the fairness of the trial. Some found solace in the belief that justice had been served. They hugged each other, tears of relief streaming down their faces, feeling that a dark chapter had finally come to a close. For them, the verdict was a vindication, a sign that the system had worked as it should. Others clung to lingering doubts, questioning whether the full truth had been revealed. They furrowed their brows in concern, engaging in heated debates about the evidence and the possible motives. For these individuals, the verdict left more questions than answers, and the sense of unease persisted. The scars of the trial, like the haunting beauty of the Low Country itself, would linger for generations to come. The misty landscapes and somber sunsets over the marshlands seemed to mirror the community's collective grief and unresolved tensions. This trial, and its verdict, would be remembered as a pivotal moment in the history of the Low Country, a story that would be told and retold. Its impact felt long after the courtroom had emptied. Section 9. Justice served, scars remain. The trial of Alex Murdaugh stands as a stark reminder that even in the face of unimaginable tragedy, truth has a way of emerging. The courtroom was filled with tension, every eye fixed on the man who once held a position of power and influence. The judge's gavel echoed through the room, signaling not just a verdict, but a moment of reckoning. The weight of justice bore down, a testament to the resilience of the legal system and the relentless pursuit of truth. The victims, Maggie and Paul, will never be forgotten. Their lives, tragically cut short, have left an indelible mark on the community. Candlelight vigils and memorials serve as poignant reminders of their presence, a collective mourning that binds the community together. Each flickering flame represents a memory, a story, a life that was cherished and loved. Their memories will forever be etched in the hearts of those who loved them. Friends and family gather, holding onto photographs and mementos, each item a tangible connection to the past. The pain of loss is palpable, yet within it lies a profound sense of love and remembrance. These moments of reflection are crucial, allowing those left behind to honor the lives that were lost, and to find solace in shared grief. The community, forever changed by the events that unfolded, must now find a way to heal. Support groups and community gatherings become sanctuaries of understanding and empathy. In these spaces, individuals share their stories, their pain, and their hopes for the future. Healing is a collective journey, one that requires time, patience, and the unwavering support of one another. The scars left behind are deep, but through unity and compassion, the community can begin to rebuild. The legacy of the Murdaugh name will be forever tarnished, a cautionary tale of power, greed, and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. The headlines tell a story of a family once revered, now shrouded in scandal and tragedy. The black and white photographs serve as a stark contrast to the vibrant lives that were lost, a visual representation of the fall from grace. This legacy serves as a reminder of the fragility of reputation and the importance of integrity. The pursuit of justice is a long and arduous journey, but in the end, it is a journey worth taking. The scales of justice, balanced yet delicate, symbolize the ongoing struggle to find truth and fairness. The long winding road, illuminated by a solitary street lamp, represents the path ahead, uncertain, challenging, but ultimately guided by the light of justice. It is a journey that demands courage, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to what is right. In the end, justice served brings a sense of closure, but the scars remain, a testament to the trials endured and the resilience of the human spirit.